small businesses from unfair, unsustainable, and downright predatory loans. Let me first thank Zena Floyd, who is the owner of this great establishment, Cafe Moso, for agreeing to host us today. Zena also owns a preschool nearby, so she's a true entrepreneur and a great example of how small business owners create jobs and reinvest in our communities. We're also joined by some of our advocates in the field, John Aresmeyer, who's the representative from the Responsible Business Lending Coalition and the founder and CEO of a Small Business Majority, and by Dia Harmon, who is with the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey as a community development officer for the chamber. So thank you both for joining us. You'll hear from them shortly. Small Business Saturday is this weekend, and it's never been more important for New Jerseyans to get out into the community and support their favorite stores, shops, and cafes like this one. I'll be doing that this weekend as well, and I urge everybody to support small businesses. They're the backbone of our communities. Led to shutdowns of everything from cafes to child care centers to movie theaters and more. Now, Zena was fortunate to secure some assistance from the Paycheck Protection Program, one of the many COVID relief initiatives we passed in Congress to help small businesses survive this catastrophe. Yet many businesses and restaurants still need help. And while we're working to replenish the Restaurant Revitalization Fund with another $60 billion, the funds initially authorized by the American Rescue Plan were quickly used up due to overwhelming demand. As a result, many small business owners have had to look to the private marketplace for loans to stay afloat. But as Zena will tell you, finding a decent loan with transparent terms is a challenging and even perilous process. Many Americans are not aware that small businesses aren't protected by the same disclosure laws that we have on the books for everyday consumers. This makes small business owners like Zena an easy target for predatory lenders that want to take advantage of their hard work and passion in their business. Congress passed the Truth in Lending Act all the way back in 1968 to empower consumers by requiring lenders to be upfront and tell them about the terms of their loans. That's why when you apply for a credit card or a new car loan, you're entitled to terms like the annual percentage rate, what the financing charges and other fees will be. These disclosures help you shop around, compare loans, and find the one that best meets your needs. And in 2010, we bolstered truth in lending laws by passing Wall Street reform, including a watchdog for consumer financial products and services called the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or what we call the CFPB. Since then, the CFPB has been able to recover billions of dollars for consumers and hold banks and other financial companies accountable when they skip the rules. But small business lenders aren't required to make these disclosures, and business owners have no cop on the beat looking out for them. This is especially problematic at a moment in time when many business owners are desperately seeking financial lifelines to make it through these uncertain times. Stepping up to fill these financing needs are alternative financing companies. They promise easy approvals with little to no documentation requirements and funding in under 24 hours. However, they're often not transparent about their loans, and small businesses end up taking on debt they do not understand, cannot afford, and then struggle to repay. While this disclosure loophole has existed for years, the pace of innovation in the financial sector is offering unscrupulous lenders new ways to exploit it. At its best, innovation offers access and options to a broader swath of potential consumers. That's important for our businesses in New Jersey and around the nation. But we must also ensure that lenders don't use the guise of innovation to deploy clever and deceptive tactics to obscure the true costs of their loans. For example, there are some online lenders who require small business owners to give them a fixed percentage of every credit card transaction until the loan is paid off. Over time, these payments add up to much higher credit costs, often far outside what business owners initially thought they were getting. Simply put, this giant loophole has allowed dishonest lenders to prey on small businesses just trying to survive the economic fallout of the worst pandemic in 100 years. That's why I've introduced the Small Business Lending Disclosure Act of 2021 in the United States Senate. Leading this effort in the House is my good friend, the chair of the Small Business Committee, Congresswoman Nydia Velázquez, who's a true champion for America's small businesses. Our legislation would require that business owners have access to the same information we require banks and financial companies to disclose to everyday consumers. Under our bill, small business lenders will have to disclose the annual percentage rate, the APR, financing charges for loans, the loan terms, the payment amounts, and collateral requirements. We need this legislation because without real transparency, our businesses cannot distinguish financial lifelines from financial landmines. The vast majority of lenders should have no problem being upfront with their consumers about their loan terms. It's the bad actors that we're going to fight this legislation tooth and nail. It's these bad actors who will continue harming the small business and family-run shops that create jobs in our towns and cities, especially in our minority and immigrant communities where folks often have a tough time navigating the legal and financial complexities of opening and growing a business. So the Truth in Lending Act has protected consumers from risky financial products for decades now. There should be nothing controversial about extending these disclosure rules to small commercial loans. As we prepare to go into our communities this next Small Business Saturday and support our favorite local shops and stores, we should also stand up for their right to safe and transparent financing. When we provide entrepreneurs and business owners with the knowledge they need to make informed decisions, we better position them to grow and succeed. If we want to build back better, we have to build a fairer and more accountable financial system that gives entrepreneurs of all backgrounds the tools they need to succeed. And that's what we aim to do.